What's going on, kids? Freaking Monday morning.
Oh man,
dude, it's so stupid hot in Texas right now. I'm over it. I actually was looking up land last night in Kentucky. I found 165 acres with a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, kitchen, of course, all that, outhouses, creeks, ponds, everything for $699,000. I'm like,
Well,
why the fuck am I
cut that down for you? I mean, if you have 4 bedrooms, I'll rent one.
So, what do you want to not hear on a Monday morning? That your brother wants to move in with you?
Come on, trying to help you out with your cost.
Yeah, no.
I'm willing to pay those last. I'm willing to play those last 3 zeros in that number.
Man,
I'll even send you some stars.
there he is.
Right, I was literally out last.
Is that better?
Night. A little bit. Find out. We're trying to teach Brandon how to use a computer today, so y'all bear with us.
He's just trying to teach him how to use a computer.
It's gonna be fun.
So, man, I literally, because over a garden in Texas, you've got to put a shade cloth over it in the heat, and I couldn't get out there and work. It was 8 o'clock last night before I was out there trying to hang this damn sheet cloth over the damn thing. What's up, Lockwood? And dude, it was just hot. I went through 2 different t-shirts because you just sweat through anything you freaking wear. It's just dumb. That's why I'm glad
you walk outside this morning. I walked outside. It's already 80 degrees.
Yeah, don't lie. You haven't walked outside yet. Don't lie to the viewers.
Well, he let the dogs out and stumbled on the front porch a little bit, so that was kind of a walk.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's more.
He's trying to walk to the other refrigerator to get another beer.
Bernie, what's the temperature like up in Michigan?
It actually has cooled off. We had like mid-90s all last week. Today it's 62 when I woke up.
Wow.
Well, that sounds terrible. Fucking beautiful.
I fucking hate you. Yeah. I hate everything about you, Bernie. You know what? You take Keith's butt plug microphone cover and shove it up your ass.
I didn't think we were saying that on the live.
I didn't either.
That just happened.
I thought there were limits.
Welcome to the backstage pass.
Doing with this microphone cover, if it's the Muppets, if it's a sex toy.
I ordered it because it was orange, like Miami Dolphin orange, and then you get it on camera and it looks like it's a banana.
No.
It's a banana.
It looks bad.
Okay, so Arkansas was never on the list, but it's off the list too because it's 94.
Central West. Oh, that's so in 2 weeks I'm heading up to Hot Springs for a week.
Nice,
and that sucks. I was hoping it'd be a little bit cooler up there.
Oh yeah, it was 87 in Kentucky as I was looking at land yesterday. I'm like, that's getting a little better.
Yeah,
I won't go as far north as Bernie.
I saw a meme on Facebook yesterday that said, it was like somebody saying like, I'm thinking about moving to Texas in the summer. What's it like? And the response was, have you ever been cremated?
I saw you sent me that one.
I thought that was great. I'm like, that's exactly how it feels right now. We are actively being cremated right now.
No.
They're crazy.
This is the only thing I'm going to say about politics, but if that is the best we can do is 2 fucking old crotchety bastards that can't carry on a fucking conversation other than my brother can beat up your brother. Right, that whole debate can be summarized as I was a better president. No, you sucked. No, you sucked. I was a better president. It was like a fucking playground.
Terrible.
Senile. I'm over it.
I felt like I was back in high school watching the high school debate team.
Right. It was so bad.
Donnie's breaking rule number 1 of the podcast, which is no politics.
I know, no politics, but maybe
I don't know
that could be counted as politics.
Yeah, making fun of that embarrassment. I mean,
yes.
That's actually rule number 2.
Well, what I thought was funny was finally Democrats and both Republicans can agree. We have 2 fucking idiots running for office. That's we all came together on something.
we all got there.
Wait,
I don't know.
So you're saying I have a chance?
I guess.
At this point, Keith, I would definitely vote for you.
There's one.
So,
can I get 2?
So. All right, let's play that game, Peyton. Did you see Eric Lockwood's?
I like Lockwood's comments. I like it.
You see Petrie?
That's
It's great
brilliant.
reality
It's
TV.
great reality TV. That's awesome.
Yeah, it is. It's real reality TV.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes,
Right.
the future.
Guess the
Oh.
future. It's another one of the video game shows.
Okay.
like those.
So this is where you're
remind
gonna
us
play a
again, how
video.
does this work?
I picked better videos. Hopefully, we don't get flagged for any dangerous videos in this one.
Robin, you just made me laugh out loud.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh,
Oh, that's awesome.
okay.
What do you
I think
think?
this will work?
He's
The fuck's he
stuck in
doing?
gravel. He's gonna throw the log in there.
No, it's
Oh,
gonna go
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
That's definitely
Nope.
gonna rip that back wheel off.
No, it's gonna work.
No. No.
No, I think it's gonna explode.
It fucking worked.
No
Wow.
fucking way.
Wow.
Science. You guys are.
It's
So
crazy to me that only,
saw
only ones that
science,
are
like
legal-
He's
You
actually
learn
Science.
something new every
There you
day.
He just randomly throws out the word science.
Mr. Technical right here.
That's gonna be my phrase for the rest of the day. Science.
It just
Right.
is. It just is science. I don't know. Argue.
Listen,
Argue
an old
about
person is 1-0 right now.
What did the
Yeah,
launch
what do you-
What
party?
did
what
the
do you
launch
think the
party?
launch
Oh,
party
I
is
actually knew
like?
it's A. It's those fucking 5 dorks dancing on stage. It's the funniest thing ever.
Launch party for Windows.
Watch
Oh,
this.
Oh wow.
Look at
Oh. Oh, look at
What
the kids.
I guarantee all 5 of
that was
those guys
unfortunate.
never
You're
went to a junior high dance. Look at
Look at him go.
Oh, he's
Oh,
so
they're so
excited.
excited.
Dude, that looks like Keith with no hair.
I thought it looked like Donnie on stage at the summit.
He's not crying.
Just got
that's it.
Bill
We're not
Gates
doing
standing
karaoke this
clapping.
year. We're gonna do a dance off.
Wait, with his pom poms, he looked just like that middle guy.
Wow. Wow. Science.
We're gonna get all the sponsors on stage and make them dance.
There
Yeah.
you go.
I love
You'll
it.
put me up there.
That
I'll
I
fit in.
like.
Well, Peyton, you look like you'd fit in with those guys.
What will the man
Oh.
do?
So this-
Punch
Punch it.
kangaroo.
This kangaroo.
Yeah, he's gonna
this
fight
kangaroo
him.
holding his dog.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna grab his dog and run.
Nah, he's gonna punch him. It's a fight.
Maybe that punch it in his face. I kind of hope they tase the kangaroo. PETA, don't
In the water.
In the water.
Yeah,
That makes all the
tase
sense in the world.
Let's see.
Come on.
I'm gonna punch your fucking head in. Look at my dog.
We gave it away there.
Yeah. I made sure to cut the audio out so you couldn't hear that. He found his phone.
Wow.
Good Lord.
Dude.
I'm telling you.
Fucking
Holy
splashed.
Scary.
hell.
Scary.
That dude looks like he's on steroids.
Yeah, that kangaroo looked like he could whoop my
shit.
ass.
It stood up.
Yoked animal.
And I'm like, what the fuck? No.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'm feeling
The
so
dogs
tough
are
now,
okay.
hey, dude.
Wow.
Where were you to save him?
Wow.
And you. Look.
Yeah, he's got all these other dogs, and they're like, "I'm
Yeah.
not getting in with that."
No, nobody jumped in there.
Thanks,
He left
Dad.
him on his own.
Yeah. Thing's bigger than you are. I'm not getting in there.
Yeah, right?
Wow.
Stampede coming at him.
Part around the car.
Think they're just gonna run past it? You
Yep.
think he's
No,
gonna
he's-
drive off into the ditch?
I
What
like
is
the
that?
idea
Is
of
it-
going in the ditch.
Is it elk
Just
or what is
peel
that?
out.
He's
It's
gonna
all
honk the
caribou.
horn. He's dumb.
Stampede of caribou coming at him.
Oh yeah, they're gonna jack
A
his
lot of
front.
caribou.
Oh yeah.
Where's
They all just fucking turned and left.
Wow.
He honked at him
Wow.
and they were like, oh shit, go the other way.
Wow.
That's crazy. That's a lot of damn
Isn't it?
caribou.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
no
shit.
shit.
That's good eating.
I just kept hearing it. I'm ducking and everything. God, just in the house, I got scared.
I dropped my hot pocket.
Hey,
You know what? I'm going with I dropped my hot pocket because that's just a great phrase.
I hid in the bathtub. Gotta be.
yeah. Now let's see.
Oh man.
I just kept hearing it. I'm ducking and everything. God, just in the house, I got scared. I dropped my hot pocket.
He was so disappointed too.
They're talking about a shooting. He goes, and I dropped my hot pocket. He's not worried about anything else.
Oh my god.
Hey, food is important at all
I'm
times.
telling you, man. It's a
All
hot
times.
pocket, man.
Every time we take a food break at the summit, that's what everybody say. Don't drop your hot pocket.
Don't drop your hot pocket.
Science.
Science.
And his friend is trying to play wrestle. And some random girl in the next floaty thinking she can join in.
Oh,
She
she's
comes running
she's
up.
going in the water.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You think she's just gonna bounce off?
I
You
think she
slips
trips.
into it, or-
I think she just slides right off on her own.
We all know
Nothing
she's
to do.
going in the water.
Yeah.
Just how does she go in the water is the question.
I think
Kind of like the
bounced off.
one-handed throw off. But probably on nothing and just face
Yeah.
plants.
Yeah.
She just
I'm
trips
going
and
B.
Probably
goes
B.
in.
It's probably B.
Face first into the water for sure.
My husband and his friend is trying to play wrestle. And some random girl in the next floaty thinking she can join in.
Ooh.
One-handed.
One-handed.
Bye.
He didn't even try. He's like, bloop.
You need a sound effect to add to that. That's good.
Right?
He did it.
A tweaker dancing. Someone's going off stage.
Oh yeah,
Falling off
Yeah,
stage. Gotta
yeah.
be.
flying off stage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Falling off
I wish
stage
it
is
was a
great
tweaker, but
Yeah, if it was a tweaker, it'd be more entertaining.
whoa, maybe it was a
Oh,
tweaker.
it was a tweaker.
one. He's on stage. He hasn't sung at all.
Wow.
A tweaker dancing in the 70s.
He didn't touch that microphone the whole time. He's just there.
He got moves though.
He moves, man.
He's just
He
over
got
there.
moves. Look at
Hey,
that.
is this like Napoleon Dynamite Part 2? What was it?
I guess.
Wow.
He's getting into it.
Once again, dancing on stage at the summit.
Oh yeah.
Oh, this is great. I've seen this. I'm not going to answer because I know exactly what happens. This is the fun.
Oh, he throws his phone instead of the fish. That's got to be what happens.
He forgets
So
which hand is
Yeah,
which, and he
big.
throws his phone back in the ocean.
God, that would suck so bad.
His reaction is the best.
But you gotta fish.
I think that fish is picking up 5G though.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
All right, that's all of it.
Wow.
Oh my
that's
gosh.
awesome. You see the guy in the thing?
Rasputin.
Rasputin. Too funny. Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Here we go. On to the next. This is Brandon Thornton, owner of Thornton Tax and Financial Services. He is the third generation owner of this family business. They treat each client like family with a tailored financial experience. His big business goal is to gain more high net worth clients. And today, he gets the hot seat with the Success Champions team.
Hey,
What up,
what
what
up?
you?
Brandon, I'm a little bit confused. Is it Thornton with an N or is it Thornton with no N?
Well,
I
it's an
saw it
English
both
name,
ways.
but we pronounce it like we're from Texas, so it's Thornton.
With an N
But it's
or
supposed to
T?
be Thornton.
Really?
So, I can't. What's up with fucked up last names? Right? Like Keith and I have such an easy last name to say. I mean, it's spelled perfect. You pronounce it easy, and then we got a name
Yeah, it's
like
spelled
Thornton.
exactly the way
Bovine,
it's supposed to be said.
Right?
Right, bovine. I'm not a cow. They shaved my horns off in boot camp. They said they weren't regulation.
Mhm.
So, all right, Brandon, welcome to the show, my friend. It's been fun getting to know you. We haven't known each other for really long, but we
Oh
stepped
yeah,
up.
it's
You
been
got
a long 3 months, 4 months?
3 months, 4 months, something like that, maybe a little bit longer.
Something like that. Yeah, I think I started right in the middle of tax season. So
Nice, good.
It's a great
Perfect
During,
time
timing.
for
during the
somebody
slow
in the
time,
financial
love
world.
that.
Yep.
Love that. Well, Bud, what's the biggest thing we can help you with your business? We'll try not to make you cry too much today, but we'll put you in a hot seat. How can we help you?
Oh, I'm third generation, so I've taken over and tried to kind of build to where we are now, and now we're transitioning into focusing more on kind of high net worth and more strategic clients. So trying to make sure that our message is clear to get in front of those types of clients instead of just the same ones that we've been getting in front of before was the big question I had.
Love it. Love it. Hold on. I got to highlight this for Petrie first. Teach a man to fish and never be on his phone again.
I see what you did there, Petrie.
That's funny. That's funny. I like
That's awesome. That's
Good
awesome.
luck trying to teach a man anything.
Right. So Brandon, first and foremost, third generation is usually the generation that burns it all down. So the fact that you're actually trying to build it all up is pretty rad. I can't tell you how many companies that I've known over the years where the third generation came in and they were the meth head, the coke head, the over the top partier and just burned it to the ground. So
I'm glad I'm ahead of the curve on that.
well, I mean, we still got time.
Are you?
So, so when you say more high net worth clientele, are you talking about larger clients or larger companies? Are you talking about larger individuals? Specifically, what are you talking about?
Both. And it's not to say that we don't want the smaller clients. It's just that for the strategic and advanced tax planning that we're working on now, it requires a little more heavy involvement on the client side. So it doesn't make a lot of sense for people that don't fall into that realm because some of the strategies just can't be put to use.
Okay. So how do you currently find clients? Like, what's your go-to marketing outreach? What's your strategy right now?
We have never paid for marketing outside of a website. So that's a big thing that I need to start. And I know that. But outside of that, it's mainly through networking and referral. We've grown to where we are through word of mouth and people just finding us organically without any real heavy pushing on one side or the other.
Okay.
Without saying a specific name or a brand, like who's your largest client that you have now? Is it somebody that's like a household name?
No, it's more of an industry specific name.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is it so typically are you looking for legacy type clients, meaning they've started their company, built their own wealth type things, and are probably a first generation wealth type person, or are you looking for somebody that's a trust fund baby?
Either one. The main thing for me is just that they have an understanding of what a good accountant can do for them. Because the problem I run into is that on both sides of that, if they don't have an understanding of that we run into problems with either the difference between expectation and reality of how the situation works or what the strategies can do. But the ones that have either been in it for a while or have a better understanding of what planning strategically can do for them tend to be a little more easy to work with.
Yeah.
So, well, let's get after it then. What rooms are you getting into? Because to go after high net worth individuals, it's all about being in the right rooms to get in the right conversations, to get the right introductions. So, as you look around your network and the like, what rooms are you getting into? How are you strategically trying to get in front of these people?
Well, I mean, SCN was my first go at getting back into networking after a very long break. So that was my initial steps, was to get in front of other B2B and let them know that where my ideal clients would come from and trying to get in front of those individuals and making those connections. But to also go along with it, I was asked to join a leadership forum that's going to put me in front of the heads of all of the chambers locally. Without having to go to each individual chamber, most likely.
Yeah, the good thing is you live right there in one of the most high net worth areas of DFW in South Lake and Westlake area.
Mhm.
So I know through conversations, right, you're getting on some boards and some very high end areas over there, which is going to be a huge help getting your face out there, your message out there, and everything else. But I like Mike Mallon's question in the comment too. Like, why should they choose you?
Biggest thing for me, and the way I try to describe it to most people, is that you won't meet another accountant like me. Number one, there's a reason why I'm standing in front of people talking, which most accountants have a hard time doing. And then to go along with it, just the way we try to approach the clients and the way we treat the clients is different than just a name and a number on a file. I try to get
Can
to
I
know
tell you,
them.
you just said what everybody else in the world says.
Yeah, well, I know that,
Right.
but I mean, the deal with it for me is that we're working on third and fourth generations of family, and the whole reason why I came home was my family, to take care of the business and build up for my family. So I try to treat everybody and their businesses the same as I would like to be treated when I went through that, and provide the input that they need to make sure that they're not overpaying on taxes, they're protecting themselves and their businesses, and they're planning for retirement.
So would you say that the defining characteristic you have is more on the customer service side?
I like to think so. It's I guess that's a matter of opinion, but yeah, I mean, I like to be a lot more personable with clients, get to know them a lot better, and kind of know the holistic idea of what they're trying to accomplish. Because trying to build for a legacy or trying to build for an empire is not the same as just trying to plan for tax savings.
Yeah.
So I know you're trying to extend the legacy of your family, but why this? Why tax? Why this for you? Because I know this wasn't like your first thing when you woke up at 3 years old saying, "Ooh, I get to do taxes for the rest of my damn life." So why this thing for you?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, it was for continuity for a family, like you said. But I like being a resource. I've told you, and I've told a few of the people that we network with, that if I could do the SCN style networking, get in front of people, and let that be what builds my business, I'd network every day of my life. And that's why I like it, is the personable aspect of it. But that and being a trusted advisor and a resource for people, to be able to make connections for other people to accomplish pretty much anything and everything they want to do financially, is what makes me happy. And then the work that I actually do, everything's different, so it's never the mundane, monotonous same thing every day, because everybody has a different scenario and a different situation.
Do you have a top 100 list of like ideal clients you want to go after?
Like,
The answer is yes.
If your answer is no, maybe your answer should be yes.
Well, now
the answer is yes, and you're actively writing down the last 49 of them.
Yes.
Well, and the reason I ask is because most people don't. They're sitting there just kind of hoping that they get introduced to the right companies, the right people, the right opportunities, and they have no ability to actually look at somebody and say, "Hey, these are the people I'm trying to get connected to. Do you know what rooms they're hanging out in? Do you know what places they're at? Do you know people that are connected to them?" They're just kind of almost secretly hoping that somebody knows a millionaire somewhere, or multi-millionaire somewhere, that they're just going to randomly introduce them, the person to. But when you're dealing with high net worth people, everybody's coming at them, right? From all directions, trying to get in their pocket some way, somehow. And so their guns are always up. So most time this is going to be a long relationship style sale to get people to trust you enough. But you need to know specifically who you're going after, so you can actually start breaking down. Okay, so here's 100 people I want. If I look at all these people, they're all, so 25% of them are going to this country club, or 30% of them hang out in the cigar lounge. You can really start picking out where the common denominator is for the locations they are, the charities they're a part of, and you can find yourself more consistently in the right rooms, the right conversations. Or you just hang out with Keith, because this asshole just pops into celebrities and shit randomly all the damn time. But
I would look at it from this angle, though, right? I'm going to throw out a big name because everyone's household name, right? If you were trying to find Mark Cuban, right, as a client, I would be trying to find out where Mark Cuban's hanging out to meet Mark Cuban, but not to bring him on as a client. I want to meet Mark Cuban so he introduces me to some of his friends. right? Because what's going to happen is you're going to impress Mark Cuban by taking care of some of his friends along the way. And at some point, he's going to come back and go, hey, let me give you a little piece of the action because everyone's telling me you're doing a great job.
Yeah.
But if you find 50 people you can do that with, now that circle expands.
Yeah, and kind of on that note, what are you doing with your existing clients? Are you reaching out, trying to get introductions through them, perhaps?
Yeah, that's as I've, I spent 2 years kind of putting everything in place for me to be able to do the more strategic stuff we're doing now. So just having conversations as I get with clients to let them know what we're doing, but we're going to work on a little bit more, outreach to make sure that they're aware that we've expanded into this area, and this is what it's to accomplish. If you or anyone would benefit from it, please have them reach out.
I think the other thing to think about is if you are networking as a way to grow, saying high net worth, a lot of people instinctively say, I don't know anybody like that. Right? Like just the instinct is, well, I don't hang out with millionaires. So who do I know? Right? That's high net worth. So I think also thinking about other descriptors you can give that aren't that, right? Because for a lot of people, you don't talk about it. There's still an element of a lot of people don't share how wealthy they are, or if they do, they have a trust fund or they come from family money. That may not be something you're discussing over your business breakfast, right? So it might be that there are people that know people, they just don't know that they know those people. Right. So I think also thinking about like industry specific ideas, business owner, like I'm looking for business owners who are running companies with 100+ employees, right? That probably could be a high net worth person, but the descriptor is different. And that may allow people to introduce you to more people to grow your network more than just saying, I need introductions to high net worth people, because instinctively that might make people go, well, I don't know anybody to introduce you to then. But
I definitely approach it outside of kind of the SCN circles with a little bit better description as far as, them needing to have a complex tax situation, or they're constantly struggling with, certain parameters that we can help with. I don't try to throw high net worth out just because, like you said, I don't go around talking about how much money I make. I know most people don't.
Right.
If they do, then they're probably not the type of client that I would want to deal with anyway. So,
well, and I just always think sometimes we talk about our business with networking connections like they understand our business. And they don't. They're not in the same industry as us. They don't know what that is, right? So how do we describe things in a way that everybody understands, and not in a way that has any kind of jargon or things like that? Like even saying people who would have complicated tax situation. How would I know that? I'm a speaker. Who do I know that has a complicated tax? Like that instinctively makes me go, I know nobody for you.
Yeah.
Right. So like just really thinking about how we talk about it is super important when we're networking, because most people networking listen to the first thing that comes out of your mouth and that's all they remember. So what's the first thing you say when you say, I need an introduction to blank? That first thing, even if you're going to give them a list of 5 things, that first thing is the first thing they're going to remember. So make sure that one is the easiest to understand and going to get you the most introductions.
Okay.
Yep, I agree 1,000% with what you just said.
Oh, I like Mike's question as well. Do you have a history of working with the clients you're seeking? What did they do to acquire and keep them? So have you ever broken down your current client base and figure out where they're hanging at, what they're doing, how you got them, and really kind of broke down the entire process of how did you land them as a client?
Yeah, I'm in the process right now of actually doing an EOS study on all of my clients.
Called what?
It's an EOS, entrepreneurial operation system, or operational system, I believe is what it's called. But you do a bunch of different modules where you break down your client base and either figure out where they came from, how they're connected.
EOS.
And as well as like revenue breakdown, so you can see, X percent comes from this top 20%, X percent comes from the second 20%, because typically about 60 to 80% of your revenue will come from your top 20% of your clients.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Most times.
So I got a quick question for you, Brandon. and I'm sure it exists. I'm not sure if you've ever looked for it or not. When it comes to networking, have you ever looked for a networking group that is made up of multi-generational family-owned businesses?
I have not specifically for that. No.
I would do some research into something like that, just so you're in a group with like-minded people that are in a second, third, fourth generation of family-owned business networking groups. If it doesn't exist,
create it.
Okay.
Right. Start one, because I can get, especially in the area you live in there, I guarantee there's a ton of family-owned businesses, and there's a ton of people probably your age that are in the same boat. Right. You're trying to take on your family's legacy and create this and create new things along the way. And you guys are all in this kind of together. I would create that environment as a secondary place to network.
And I think it's a unique ask to be able to look at your network and go, hey, I'm looking for multi-generational family-run businesses.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because it's a different ask.
Yeah.
I can tell you from when I was doing sales training, trying to train multi-generational families in sales was hard as hell. Because somebody was set in their way. The new buck didn't want to fucking listen to anything. You know, dad thought the kid was a moron. You know, there's all kinds of things that play into it.
I remember some of them in class.
Oh my God.
I remember some of that.
Oh,
yeah, we had
was entertaining.
Yeah, we had our individual hurdles to get over for sure. But the biggest thing, like you said, is breaking that precedence that was set by the prior generation.
Yeah.
Someone was doing it for 40 years by themselves, and now we've got.
But what Stevie said earlier was brilliant. I'm trying to rack my brain with what is the first thing that comes out of your mouth that they're going to remember that's not puke, throwing up your tax CPA shit all over their face that nobody wants to hear.
Well, right now, nobody's going to get past Keith's orange microphones. But...
I am Brandon, and I make sure you don't have dildo-looking microphones.
Well, that would have been helpful about 24 hours ago, dude.
It's all about timing. It's all about timing.
Mike just
but that might be it, right? If you walk into a room and you say, you know, what do you do? What are you looking for? That's it. Multi-generational people to network with. Has nothing to do with taxes. Has nothing to do with this, right? So I can tell you now, most networking groups you go to, I know I'm one of them. First time someone comes out of their mouth, they're a CPA, they're a financial advisor, they're a tax attorney, whatever it is they do, I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah,
I'm out. Right?
Well, I'm not going to have more than one conversation with you then.
Wait, listen, you fit into rule B1, which is you're an SCN.
Is this the world according to Keith?
Yeah, I know.
I want to know what the rest of the rules are.
But how many were in
those
A
are my rules.
before we got to B? I don't even know.
No, listen.
Why did he have to go to subcategories? Is what I want to know.
That's my technical equation.
Yeah, Brandon just got dropped to subcategories. Like he wasn't even good enough to hit like the first rung of rules. Keith had to start going to a secondary list.
Just go to a secondary because he couldn't remember the letters of the alphabet in order, so he just picked one.
Yeah.
This is rule T21X. Well, I mean, Brandon, what things are you doing outside of the business? Like, are there hobbies you're into? Is there, sports you're into? Is there other extracurricular, things that you're doing? And
say that word again.
Yeah, I'm just going to pass through that word. It begins with an E and ends in a bl. So, are there things outside of work you're doing?
Mainly for my kids. I don't do a whole lot outside of I play games every once in a while, but that's when I read. So I'm kind of a nerd.
I forget how old your kids are.
One just turned 8 last week, and one.
8 and 1. Holy hell, you got your hands full. The 8-year-old, are they in sports or anything?
Yes. All of the sports. She did.
What are they playing and where are they playing it at?
Softball in Keller, jiu-jitsu.
All right, so let's go back to softball in Keller. The best thing you could do is jump on the board of directors for Keller.
100%.
Okay.
It's all those people we talked about in that conversation I had with you. That's where I met them all.
Really?
Right.
Yep.
The guy that's the president of Charter Communications right there lives in Keller. He's the president of all KYA Sports. Still a good friend of mine, Kevin Allen. Right. All the who's who of your area is going to be on the South Lake and the Keller board of directors for youth sports.
Yep. Is this what people don't?
Yeah, figure out who's on those boards and figure out how you start the process to get on that board, because they're always they're always replacing people on the board every single month, because there's probably 28, 30 people on that board.
And then, along with, going to get on a board, if you look at the other dads and moms of your kids' softball league, what do they do for a living?
Right? Yeah, that's one thing my wife makes fun of me for, is that I will go do that. I will literally be like, "Hey, I like your chair. What do you do for a living?"
That a boy. Right. But the secret a lot of times is just getting in vicinity with a lot of these people. After you get in the vicinity, now they want you to know that you're going to be around. Right. So because a lot of people just swing through, right? They'll sit on a board for a couple of months and then they're out to the next thing, and everybody knows that's the kind of that chop shop mentality. I'm only doing this to try and land clients, right? These people want to know that you're going to be around for a while. They want to see you not only there at the softball, but they want to see you where you're going out to dinner, right? Are you catching them not only at the games, are you catching them at the board meetings, you catching them at dinner, down to, and I'm not a church going guy, but even down to, do they see him a Sunday at church?
Yep.
Sponsor a board in the outfield. It's where your company name and stuff is like that. If you think about it, when you're at the end of the season, if one of the other families sponsored a big event at the pavilion out there, something like that, what's the first question you're going to have about that family? It's like, they just spent a lot of money to do this. I wonder what he does. Mm-hmm. So if you were the one to sponsor it, everybody's going to be wondering what you do. And they're probably going to walk up to you at some point. And they're going to ask you that question, because Craig Rogers is a great example. He had sponsored some big things. I got the balls to walk up to him like, Craig, what do you do? Right. And he's one of the largest financial advisors in that area over there.
Wow.
So that's if you think about stuff like that, right? My whole goal in life is to have people ask me what I do. That way I don't have to tell people.
Yeah. And Petrie, yes is the answer. You actually have to talk to people.
No, Petrie, the answer is absolutely 100% no.
I had to keep people like Keith, Bernie, and Stevie around so people actually like me and talk to me. So, it's the only way I make friends.
Has anybody else noticed that Mike Mallon's photo on that image right there makes him look like a game show host from the Game Network?
I'm driving Peyton nuts because I keep clicking the button the same time Peyton does. So it's taking a shit in and out of the show. I don't know if it's game show or like
one of us, Donnie, is supposed to be a producer for the show, and the other one's just supposed to host. So you keep talking and let me push my buttons.
Stop pushing the button. I love it.
Stories from the backside.
Right? It's awesome how he just pops in too, just to give Donnie some shit.
Yeah, we wish we had a button that gets him out of here, but we don't have one yet.
Oh, I do. I've got full authorities there.
I am the only one that holds that button.
He's gone drunk with power now. What's going on?
I know, right? Now it's all crazy.
That's awesome.
Do it without making friends. That's why I have extra friends like Brandon. There you go.
And then for me, I always like to figure out what people are doing outside of the sports, the boards. Are there shooting clubs? Are there different events? Awards dinners, different things that you can just go be a part of. Because what I'll go back to, and I'll keep iterating that. They got to see you. They got to know you're going to be around. They got to know that you're involved in the community more than just, popping up to one thing. And let's be honest, this is why people end up becoming city council and mayors and the likes, why they run their companies. It's all for exposure. Most times they don't give a shit about the city and all the things they're doing. It's all for exposure.
Do we have a touchdown club here in the Metroplex?
What's a touchdown?
You guys
club?
Ever heard of that? All around the country, there's these things called the Touchdown Club. Like we had one in Daytona Beach, and once a month they would bring in a guest speaker that would be like Dan Marino or Ryan Tannehill. All these incredibly big sports athletes, and all these business owners would sponsor and be part of these events and stuff. And they would come in and do motivational speaking once a month. They'd have charities they would raise money for and do things for the food banks for Volusia County. And I know there's a bunch of touchdown clubs all over the country, and maybe we have something different that's here. But the guy that did my website for my company, Daytona Beach, was the AV sponsor for the whole thing. So he ran the AV. So he introduced me to like the who's who in Daytona Beach. It was amazing. It was all the car dealership owners. It was all the business owners, the big attorneys throughout the area and stuff like that. I mean, it was amazing who was there. People you'd see on TV, right, doing commercials for their businesses were there in the seat sitting next to you.
With the comb overs?
Oh, absolutely.
It's interesting though, you say car dealerships. Actually, you want to talk about one of the most common multi-generational family businesses?
Absolutely.
It's car dealerships.
Yeah.
Yeah, because either way, come see Clay.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? So that's kind of interesting just as an industry to target as well would just be car dealerships. But I think
we have a few.
you spoke earlier, Brandon, about marketing, right? And not having done a lot of marketing outside of networking. And I think a lot of what you're hearing today is that kind of thing, right? Sponsor something, go do something, right? It's not just networking, it's doing some marketing behind that as well. By getting your business name out there. And, we all know all the things, right? Golf tournaments and awards dinners and galas and charities and boards.
I think there's a Christian men's group that meets that's run by Chad Hennings. You guys remember Chad Hennings? He was the nose guard for the Cowboys, Air Force pilot. So he runs out in Grapevine a men's Christian organization, something like that. And I know they've had Troy Aikman in to speak at that event and stuff like that. So.
Well, and I'm also thinking just because of the car dealerships, my buddy Glenn Lundy, he runs a community of like 8,000 car salespeople and dealerships, and he just launched his first car dealership. He's got one of the top car dealership sales training companies in the country, and just launched his own. He also won the Grant Cardone Speak Off Challenge. So, but I can't stand Grant Cardone. I think that guy's a fucking moron. Just from the way he
How do you really feel?
Oh, can't stand him. Done brilliant in business, at least on paper, it looks like. But if you do half the shit he teaches in a B2B world, you're just going to get your teeth kicked in. But if car dealerships is a real thing, then there is car dealership associations. That I don't know if I would recommend going after the used car dealerships, but they're making money too.
They are. Yeah, they are. Well, and I think, you said associations, Donnie, and I think that would be another thing to look at is if the industries that have the kind of individuals that you would like to meet, associations are a great way to do that. And a lot of associations at an industry level will have events that are for the owners versus events for members. And if you can get into those, it's a great way to have conversations.
And I think I would look at the not so volatile. Like I'd stay away from oil and gas just because, price of barrel dictates everything in that industry. When it's great, it's freaking amazing. But, one turn and, everybody's broke and everybody's fired. And
that's where I was before I came home. I was swinging a hammer for 5 years.
Yeah. Well, it's like the husband and wife that I met at the last happy hour, they came from building these economic, buildings down in the oil fields. They had, and these things were like $200,000 a piece to do these eco-friendly buildings. And, one turn of the oil, the barrels dropped and they went from having like 20 orders to 0. Like all orders canceled, the whole business is gone, and I'm like, man, that's too volatile for me. I'm out.
Yeah. When I left, I came home. The last trip I took back from San Antonio, there were yards all stacked up that just had millions of dollars worth of equipment just sitting there.
Yeah.
And that was part of the reason why I didn't have any qualms about coming home to be with my family.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
The people don't often think how much being a personal brand or becoming a personal brand, which just means somebody's going to bring your name up in the right conversations, really at the end of the day. Everybody has a brand anyways. You don't really build one. You're really just trying to figure out, how do I put my brand more on display? How do I show up bigger, louder? How do I get more people talking about me? Because half the battle is finding your way into private conversations that you're not a part of. And you do that because people are bringing your names up because you're doing good shit, right? You're opening doors, you're doing charities, you're doing sponsorships, you're giving people to talk about you. And I think it's a huge missed opportunity for most people because they're just not giving people a reason to bring their name up. And usually because they're not doing good shit. So, also, how often are you whining and dining your current client base? Like, what events?
That's one thing I want to get into more. Is
how do Donnie and I become clients?
Yeah, I'll talk to you outside of the meeting. It'll be all right.
Apparently, you need high net worth, which judging by that microphone cover, you ain't got yet. So.
Is there a level of entertainment? Like, are we at the McDonald's level right now? How do we get to the the higher end?
He'll get you a Happy Meal.
But there is some cool power of, we used to do it every year with our clients when I was, doing Sandler. We'd bring all of our clients together, and man, just the networking that would happen by having all your clients to meet. So whether you go rent a freaking, box at a Rangers game, Cowboys game, something, just as a cool experience to bring your people together, helps make a lot of business happen.
Yeah.
Or you can, even do it like a lot of people forget, like go to all these golf tournaments, the one in Fort Worth, and you can rent one of those fairway or green, the Colonial, the green boxes they have, and they're not that expensive compared to Rangers or Cowboys or something like that. Or think about minor league.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Go to minor league football,
rugby.
Right? There's a lot of fun. It's half the price.
Like what was the
people out?
The rugby season tickets were even that expensive.
Yeah, rugby season tickets are like $700 per seat for the year. It's in the old Ranger Stadium, and it is so much fun. It is so much fun.
But yeah, that's part of what I want to do. That, and giving them takeaways too is a big part of what I want us to get started in more. Where
what do you mean?
Not only do we have an event, but we also have something that they can take away from it, either a networking opportunity or discussion of something that we could be doing for them that they may not be aware of. Not to sit there and make them sit through a seminar or anything like that, but just like a little quick, this is what we've started doing. Now let's eat and hang out and network a little bit.
Yeah.
And don't forget the people and all their kids. Like, if you could do, a kids fair, something that they can bring the families together, because sometimes the best way to get to adults is going straight through their kids.
Yep.
Well, take the softball team out to medieval times, or
right,
something like that. Because that's the goal of anything you're doing, right?
Is to support your kids and make sure your kids
of course. Target one person, target two people, right? Don't worry about saying hi and meeting everybody. Everyone's going to want to meet you because you're the guy that put this whole thing on. Everyone's going to want to come up to you and say hi, say thank you, and everything else. Make sure when those two people you're targeting say hi, you grab their arm, pull them into a corner, and say, let's have a conversation.
Yeah.
Not aggressively, though. That could cause.
Oh, yeah. Fuck that.
Put them in a headlock.
No wrist locks.
And a lot of times, because you're an event, right? Last thing I want to, if someone's bringing me to an event like that because they want my attention and they start talking business to me, I get a little bit turned off. So most of the time, my goal would be, hey, do you have time for dinner? I know we live pretty close to each other in the same proximity. Can you and I go have dinner or lunch one day next week and sit down and just chat? Because we just haven't had a chance to do that. And then quit, right? Don't have that conversation at the event.
I kind of have a rule of thumb that I don't talk business until they do. And that buys me a lot of time to go talk about everything else. And I of course learned it, like I do most things, the hard way, of flapping my gums in the wrong room, the wrong time, right? But you got to get that secondary opportunity. So if you do have a night and nobody's talked business at all, don't get out of that conversation without saying, hey, let's go have a dinner or something secondary. And once again, if you're going to take somebody of high net worth out, make it more of an experience. Like, where's a restaurant maybe they haven't gone to, or something that's just out of the box. Even doing crazy shit like going to events that they may have not been to. Like, take your clients to midget wrestling or just something. And I'm serious. Take them someplace completely out of the box. That is, I mean, you watch some of those midget wrestling things, and it's pretty freaking wild. How
Speaking of out
athletic
of the
they-
box, Brandon, over there by you, have you been to DeLuca's yet?
Mm-mm.
So DeLuca's is like a Brazilian steakhouse, but it's for pizza. Right? So they have like 16 to 18 kinds of pizzas, 4 different dessert pizzas, and they bring it by and they just get a slice at a time. But it's same thing as that Brazilian type. It's gauchos coming around with pizza instead of the
I want
meat
to
cuts.
see.
But
I want to see the pizza on a skewer.
I know.
They're carving off a piece.
But they have unbelievable appetizers. They have really high-end mixology bartenders there making some incredible drinks. Some that come out with that big bubble on top and smoked old fashioned.
So what I heard, guys, just so we're all on the same page.
Take them out for pizza.
Oh, actually, I was going to say Brandon's going to take us too, but I'm good with Keith too. Brandon's going to take us all.
I'll
out
let him take the first hit.
There's one in Alliance right by the hotel we're having the event at.
Nice.
Oh.
Yeah, they just opened one up right there. So
is that where
I just went for the
Johnny's
first time.
taking all of his staff on
I'm
Tuesday
sorry,
night
everything
before
cut
work?
out. I don't know what happened. Your audio cut out, Stevie. Not sure what happened there.
Don't worry, Stevie. We all heard it.
Thank you.
Stevie, that would be Tuesday night, the night before. Donnie's
Yes.
taking the staff out for dinner.
Yes.
I'm sorry, what?
It's not. It's $25 a piece. It's not even that bad.
Where?
It's the drinks
Huh?
that will get you.
I didn't hear anything.
Don't worry, it's on the
Just
schedule.
static.
I'll just put it on the agenda, Keith.
Yeah, it's on the schedule.
agenda. Staff night out with
Brandon,
That's what it
you
is.
are welcome to come with us Tuesday night, by the way.
You
I
are
will do
welcome,
it.
Brandon.
Well, I live
know-
like 3 miles from there, so
Hey,
There you go.
join
See?
in.
I'm
So
sure
we're
there's
gonna
some-
see you at Summit because you're 3 miles away.
absolutely.
Okay, there we go.
So we're gonna put him on stage just to say, all right, next up is Brandon on the main stage.
Wait, we weren't going to tell him.
Oh.
We're just going
No.
to do it.
I mean, we already put him on stage once. So
You did a great job.
he did a
Yeah.
great
Listen,
job.
Brandon, you should be honored. I don't go out much. I was actually out that day. I was there. I was in attendance, and I caught you're probably the only speaker I think I stayed for the whole.
But after
whole
you
thing.
got done speaking, he left, Brandon. I don't know what that was about, but
Yeah, that was enough.
Well, I wasn't sure if anybody was going to clap or not. So I'm like, I don't want to be the
Yeah.
only guy here clapping. So
We had to leave
now.
before the tears started.
That was awesome. Well, Bud, we've covered a whole crap ton of things. We threw a bunch of shit at you today. So, what are some of the takeaways? What are some of the things you're going to try and do from all this, Brandon?
I'm gonna go start figuring out where all these people are hanging out a lot more, and definitely look into starting to sponsor more stuff as we get into it, and especially hopefully as we get the South Lake group going too. So there'll be a lot that'll come from that. I think we're planning on at least once a month. So we're gonna sponsor something there, and then I'm gonna sponsor something for some of my clients to see about taking them out.
Yeah.
Love
Love
it.
that.
Love it.
Great.
And the other
Awesome
thing
stuff.
I would love to learn from you at some point. It doesn't have to be today, obviously, but I would love for you to be able to answer that question that Stevie had earlier. Right? What's the first thing that comes out of your mouth that you tell people what you do that's not exactly what you do? Right? What is the one thing they're going to take away? The one thing they're going to remember about Brandon Thornton? I would love to hear that answer. It might take you a month to come up with that answer. Right? It's not easy to be able to do something like that, but I do want you to think about that and come back and tell us what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Love that.
beautiful. Well, let's talk about upcoming events. I know there's all kinds of craziness going on. So, Stevie, I know you got a play coming. I know you got a
We
workshop.
do. We move into the theater. We moved into the theater last night. Today, I am going to paint sets. So that's where I'm headed today. So
If you need help, I can get Peyton to come over there.
No. So anyway, I'm fine.
She didn't even hesitate. You could have just been like,
I love you, Peyton. But no. But yes, we open Friday night. All I really need to know, I learned in kindergarten. It's really cute. It's a bunch of stories of people in their lives, and it'll really speak to you. It'll touch your heart. It's funny. You'll laugh. You'll cry. It'll be great. So it's a really fun show, and we open Friday night in Mansfield.
When are we going this weekend, Donnie, or next weekend?
I'll have to talk to the boss. Either one.
Just
So
tell me what weekend you're coming.
let's go the weekend after. That way we can get more people to meet us out there.
Yeah, there you go.
So if you guys do want a cool experience, we'll do dinner out there and then go watch a play. So the weekend of the 14th, we'll go. That Saturday night, is that the 14th?
Yep.
Let's do the 14th
Saturday night.
out there. So if y'all want to come or local,
Go
want
to
to meet us
the
out there,
fleetwoodproject.org and get tickets out
Yep.
there for the event and stuff. Donnie and I'll meet you out there, and
Yeah.
we always go to dinner
Oh.
before somewhere low. I guess there's a new barbecue place out there, right?
There's a new
Stevie, you were
barbecue
talking
place. You gotta go. You gotta
Oh.
go. Yeah. I'll
about? Okay,
send
so
it
that's
to
probably
you.
where we're gonna go then.
So good.
So is this
Come on,
one kid
Petrie, go
friendly?
buy a ticket.
There's nothing offensive in it. Will kids understand all the stories? No, but will they laugh?
Okay, so get a babysitter.
It's in Mansfield, for those of you who want to know. It's out in Mansfield.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a great little town. Afterwards, we usually walk 3 doors down and go to the karaoke bar.
Karaoke
Most
bar.
of the entertainment, the staff, the actors come down and meet us down there and
Yep.
drink.
Every
Watch these
Saturday
guys sing.
night, drink and sing. That's what we do.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Petrie, come on. You're welcome to come on. I mean, the more the merrier. So we'll
Absolutely.
fill the damn place up. So Bernie, nice dog, by the way.
Yeah.
The little basset down back there, Blue.
What you
And
got going on, Bernie?
chewing on his
You're my
bed.
boy, Blue.
That's my boy Blue. That's right. This week's actually pretty light with the 4th of July, but next week I've got a couple of events. I got the Audience Alchemy facilitating virtual training that doesn't suck on Wednesday the 10th, and then I'm doing a speaking engagement for the Standing Ovation Society on Wednesday.
Standing Ovation
Nice.
Society.
We're good.
Yeah, it's
I
like
like
Told
a
you, we talked about that earlier.
it's like a school for speakers.
Yeah. That's very
Yeah.
cool.
So
Bernie.
they tell everybody before he speaks, everybody please remember to give him a standing ovation when he's done.
Nice. And then I've got on July 11th at 9:00, Quiet Connector, Introverted Strategies for B2B Success. So if you're more on the introverted side of things and want to learn how to network, it's a really fun workshop. And then of course, September 18th through the 20th, we've got the Badass Business Summit coming up. So dude, with the sponsors coming in, the speakers coming in, this is going to be off the damn charts. I'm looking forward to announcing some of our new sponsor relationships we have coming down. So we're finalizing a couple of those things, but I will
It's
tell
kind of
you,
cool with some of these sponsors, some of the new things we're doing this year that are
Yeah.
gonna
Oh
be
yeah.
exciting. And I mean, it's nice to be able to see it kind of behind the scenes a little bit and see what's coming down the pipe, because this is really getting fun.
yeah, it really is. Crazy, years of doing this and where it's all led to and the opportunities we get to continue to pour into people and make happen from it. So really, really excited for that. So tickets go up on July 10th. So if you have not gotten your ticket yet, move fast. I know it. Somebody's going to come at me and say, I didn't know tickets were going to go up, and they're going to yell at me over it. But we've told every way we know how to tell on that.
We're gonna stand up and give you a standing ovation.
And Keith will give you the science behind it.
Oh geez.
So
Oh geez.
Keith, I really think you should put a keychain on that mic cover just to seal the deal and finish it all off.
AB shark.
So that's awesome, guys. Well, go have a badass week. We'll be back here next Monday, rocking and rolling, hanging out with everybody, and we'll get Bernie to say more than 10 words, and it's the challenge.
Standing ovation. Good seeing you, Brandon. Thanks for coming on, buddy. Appreciate
Yeah.
you.
I appreciate you guys having me.
Take care,
Go have
Brian.
a badass week. Love you, mean it. See you. Bye.